Hey, y'all. Welcome back to Feasting on the Word. I am DG Hamblin. With all I have going on today, I was not going to record, but then I suddenly felt as if I needed to relate a personal story. I, Perhaps somebody needs to hear this. Perhaps I just need to be reminded of it. I don't know. And it stems from or relates to the passage we find from the Sermon on the Mount, Matthew 5, verse 44. Well, it's 43 and 44. Sorry. You have heard that it hath been said, Thou shalt love thy neighbor and hate thine enemy. But I say unto you, love your enemies, bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you. What does that have to do with a personal story of mine? Well, about 10 years ago, I was running for public office, and I found myself in a very public dispute with another person. And he and I were not friends, had never been friends. And so as this dispute went on, I found myself developing some increasingly hard feelings for him. And then I got some wise counsel from my father, who suggested that I pray for this person. And I have to tell you, I did not want to pray for him. I wanted to be mad. I wanted some retribution. But out of love and respect for my father, and knowing that his advice was sound, I decided that I would pray for him. And so every day, I included this person by name in my personal prayers and asked for our Heavenly Father's blessing to be on him. And I have to tell you that that experience changed me. My heart began to soften. And after just a few days, I felt the anger that had been inside of me turn. And instead, I began to have feelings of peace and then love for this other person. And then as my attitude changed, I noticed that his attitude changed as well. And as what I had felt inside of me turned to love for him, of course, that changed the way that I behaved toward him. And as we would meet in public places, I noticed that his attitude also changed toward me. And it didn't take too long before we became cordial and then friendly. And I saw him in a whole new light, not as someone who I considered my enemy, but as somebody who was a child of God, who had value and worth and a lot of good in him. I won't say we became best of friends, but we certainly became friendly and became friends. And today still, and I do see him from time to time, we run into each other. I consider him a friend, and we greet each other as friends. And if he needed me for some reason, I would be there to help him in any way I could. And I believe that he would also be here for me if I needed him. I have a firm belief and a testimony in the power of prayer and in the benefit of praying for those who we consider enemies. So, if there is somebody in your life who you consider an enemy, with whom you have a conflict, I urge you to pray for that person, to pray for the Lord's blessing to be on them. And I promise, if you'll do that sincerely, you will see a miraculous change. And not only the way you feel, but in the relationship you have with that other person. I love y'all. Thank you for listening to me for just a minute. I'll see you again real soon.